Hey, you. Welcome out to the Cars, Bars, and Guitars podcast. And now we're legal because this is episode 18.
18. On the edge of 18. Oh, shit, that was last week.
Oh, yeah.
Last time.
That's true. Well, my name's AJ.
And I'm Stevie.
Well, Stevie, who are we brought to you today by?
The 1988 Lamborghini Countach Quattro Valve.
Oh, better than the Quattroporte, correct?
That'd be really wild to see a four-door Countach.
All right, so the back doors, are they suicide going, or are they suicide scissor doors? They swing the opposite way of the front ones?
Yes.
That would be cool. Well, Steve...
The windshield wipers are operating the same effect. It'd be very strange.
Normally, I ask Steve what we're drinking today, but...
This time, it's your handiwork.
Very much so. It was a happy accident, we'll say. Oak City Amaretto from Raleighwood and Jefferson's Reserve Bourbon, Kentucky Bourbon. And if you mix them together equal parts, you get a Godfather. And Steve's never had a Godfather, correct?
Yeah, let's make us an offer I can't refuse.
Yes. Could have been a contender, Steve.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're not drinking one of these right now, you're living life incorrectly.
It's as delicious as I said it was?
Yep.
All right, good, because there's plenty of it. But we also have plenty of other stuff, including a nice gift from my best buddy, Samir, who is from Bosnia. He went to Bosnia, and he brought me back a bottle of liquor. And I was like, what is it? He goes, I don't know. Cool. All right. And he said, I think it's some kind of rum. Well, I translated it.
The color is correct.
Yeah, I translated it all. So the front, it says...
What that scribble? Strong medicine?
It says Badel Prima brand. And then underneath, produced from the best wine distillers and selected alcohol according to the traditional recipe. We don't know what the traditional recipe is.
It's a malt liquor, isn't it?
I don't know, but here's the rest of it. It's on the inside, and that's painful to try to read. But I did the first paragraph, and this is enough.
How am I supposed to get a picture of this?
Hey, good luck. So while you're doing that, I'll read what says. Strong alcoholic drink is what it translated to. Ingredients: water.
It is 70 proof.
Water, alcohol, wine, natural aromatic substances, macerate of fruits, and caramel color. So nowhere in there did it say rum, but that's what it translated to. That's what some of it translated to. There's much more writing. I started to get a headache after a little bit, trying to decipher what the rest of that was. So did you get the good picture of it yet, or is it still?
It's really difficult to make anything useful out of this without just taking the label off.
I do like how it said, or Jacko Alkoholno Piche translates to strong alcoholic drink. I do kind of like that it does that. So I say, what? Hey, that's not bad. You'll have to send that to me. What's funny? It's the product of Croatia. Well, so it's okay. So it's
either way, it's former Yugoslavia. So what does make?
It's all the same language. It's just different ethnicities, is what he was telling me. So all that. God, that's really good. We're gonna crack that bottle open probably after we get done with this drink, because that's probably not going to mix very well. And considering it has water, alcohol, wine, natural aromatic substances, kind of worries me. That could kind of mean anything, but...
So what's the language? Serbian or...
I don't know what the actual name of the language is.
I was like, how do you say vague in that?
I could... We'll just text Samir. Hey, Samir, how do you say that? Because fuck it is yebiga. And
I think this is a bottle of Yebiga.
Yeah, it might be. It might be.
Yebiga.
And the cool part about the drink that we're drinking now is that I had no idea that there was an amaretto distillery in Raleigh. But the bottle is super cool. It kind of looks like an old medicine bottle.
It looks very 1930s with the font styling and the Art Deco labeling.
Very. Here you go. You're good at this. You read the label. The people are clamoring to hear your lovely baritone voice.
Oak City Amaretto. We hope you enjoy our family's handcrafted, authentic Italian-American liqueur. We call it Gran Marescal Zamaretto. Grandma Scalabrino was part of the greatest generation, whose unmatched love was reciprocated by all.
You went into a Slavic accent.
What can I say? The essence of the liquor is getting very strong here. We know that this unique family treat will put a smile on your face, just as it has many of the privileged guests who joined Grandma in conversation and libation. From our family to yours, saluti and grazia. Find out more at oakcityamaretto.com.
Oh, sweet.
The website?
What? It's not
Are
real.
you 21? Okay, you can look at the website.
That is so arbitrary. like asking a horny 14-year-old boy who's on a porn site, are you 18? Well, I am today. All right, so the difference between Bosnian, Croatian, and Serbian are very minimal, although Bosnian employs more Turkish, Persian, and Arabic loanwords, commonly Orientalisms. I did not think that was what that meant. It's very similar to both Serbian and Croatian in its written and spoken form.
What do you want? What do you want instead? Asianisms?
Do you remember the Family Guy episode, CBS, Asian Town? And it was the CBS logo, and they turned it sideways and squinted the eye. Okay, cool. So there's a lot of dialects. That's a lot of dialects. But I guess it's all roughly similar, which that's very...
You know, you go up continent a little way, even within Germany it gets changed, or you bounce between Switzerland and Austria as well, then it has its own thing.
True. Well, and actually, you know what, the United States is the same way, because listening to a conversation between somebody from Alabama and Minnesota, you would think they were speaking two completely different languages. Don't you know?
Hey, man, what you talking about?
Oh, boy. Let's see here. So it's actually not Bosnian, it's Croatian, but as we've just read...
Vegan Croatian.
Well, you know what? I might not have... Well, if it's similar, it might not be exactly how I translated it, because if this is product of Croatia, and I put it in the Bosnian translator, it's very similar. It's got to be similar. I can't imagine it being that much different. I'm excited to try that. I hope
Turn the empty bottle to him. So what'd it say?
I hope we don't die after drinking that, because... I got a couple more things I'd like to take care of before I'm dead. I want to talk to you, Mr. Steve Nicks.
What?
Mr. Black Flag fan. Mr. Offspring fan. About punk rock.
Okay. What can I pretend to not know for you?
More than I can pretend to not know. I appreciate punk rock, the rebellion and everything. I can't really get into the Ramones as much. I haven't listened to very much, admittedly.
That has got to be the best band with your AC/DC complaint.
Well, at least with the Ramones, if you don't like the song, it's over in less than 2 minutes. I think it was Lemmy from Motorhead. He's like, I went to see a Ramones show one time. They played 20 songs, and it took them 35 minutes. It was the longest, shortest show he ever saw.
Yes.
So were they the pioneers of...
They were among the earliest forefront in the United States of it.
Okay. So they all
Them
four
and-
were U.S.?
Yeah.
Okay.
They were out of New York, as were the New York Dolls.
Mm-hmm.
And to hear someone from New York Dolls speak is very Dee Snider-ish, just this very deep New York accent. I can't really do a good impression of it, but you know what I'm talking about.
Very, very Andrew Dice Clay.
Hey!
What's in the bag, bitch?
You coming the show tonight or what?
That was weird comedy. It was like he would tell the same jokes, and the crowd would love it when they could say the punchline. I don't think anybody else got away with that.
Little boy Blue. He needed the money.
He had a couple of good ones, but for the most part, it was kind of cheesy. But
it was very 80s, and now that he's in his 60s, I dare say he's mellowed out a bit. He was on WTF a couple of years ago, and now it's just like, hey, what's the deal with the paper shredder? Which nursery rhyme's that?
The Sex Pistols were punk rock, correct?
They were one of the pioneers
Okay.
in England in 76 or so.
Okay, so that was mid-70s.
It's kind of perfect that 99% Invisible just did something on the fashion of punk. That a lot of it like stemmed from a shop where they went through several iterations and discovering that BDSM type clothes proved really popular with these rebellious types that were starting to make the music that would become punk rock, playing loud, fast, and raucous, and stitching stuff on and safety pinning stuff together. Not initially for the fashion or statement of it, just to try to keep shabby clothing together, and then that morphs into its own thing,
much like the grunge scene did.
Yeah,
with
like, oh no, it's plaid. Well, the P&W gets kind of cold. A flannel shirt keeps you warm. This is kind of the fashion of the area.
Fashion by proxy.
Much like country western. What's been a popular thing in that? I don't know. Overalls. It's in the South. You're out farming. And I was like this happy accent. It's like, well, it's like this is the way you look if you do this music.
Jeez.
You can wear whatever hair you want or not.
Well, do you remember when we were, I guess, middle school age? Every pair of pants had the little hoop on the side to put a hammer in.
Yeah, carpenter jeans.
Guarantee nary a hammer had been in any of those jeans.
I've got a pair of tan canvas carpenter pants, and no, but they are my favorite pants. Didn't hurt they were $8 in clearance at Target. Thanks, Target.
My favorite pair of carpenter pants I named Karen. But I heard that you'll appreciate this story.
I named my Daniel. He restores Mustangs.
Toby told me a funny story about the Sex Pistols. He said Johnny Rotten was such a horrible musician that he would get fucked up before they would all get fucked up. It's 70s, early 80s, into the 90s probably now. He would get really fucked up, and then they would go play on stage, and then their singer would go and unplug his bass amp. Because he was so shitty.
Well, nowadays, Johnny Rotten is going by his real name, Johnny Lydon, and he's about as far from punk rock as could be.
Oh. Ooh. I'll look it up later. That's that off-air wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Well, it can't be any different than Pete Burns. Well, Pete Burns is dead now, I think, but do you don't know who Pete Burns is?
With whom?
Think 80s and think glam pop new wave. And Pete Burns is, before he died, pretty sure he's dead, but he became a woman, and probably the scariest transition to lady man. It's horrible.
So sometimes you got to burn Bernadette.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think of the name of the band. I know the song. It's "You Spin Me Right Round."
Dead or Alive.
He's the singer of Dead or Alive, and he was pretty effeminate at the time. But boy, what he ended up turning into right before he died was just. That is what happens when you go into the plastic surgeon's office and check every box. Like it's. Yeah, and when you find a good horrible picture, I want to see it just because I enjoy a good train wreck.
Dead at 57 in October 16th. Hey, that's the day I got my computer up and running.
What an anniversary! Oh yeah. Let me see the picture you're looking at.
Stupid advertisement.
And after you show it to me, spin it right around back your way. Let me see it, because he had a book called Freak Unique.
Oh, this is unique.
Yep, and that's actually like one of the best pictures you could have possibly found. This one's worse. That one's worse. If only you could see Steve's face through your earphones. At least it died before it laid eggs. Go ahead, name another Dead or Alive song without looking it up.
Radio silence.
Is that one?
No.
Oh, it should be. Are you? Do you feel like you're not any better of a man after looking at that picture?
I mean, person's welcome to do whatever they damn well feel, but I don't feel compelled to like it.
Yep. I agree. You can do whatever you want, but oh boy, that was not punk rock at all.
No. I need to look at the Elephant Man to cleanse my eyeballs.
So we have. So I guess it's a toss-up between New York Dolls and there's an ice cube in there. Did you swallow it?
There wasn't much of an ice cube in that.
Oh, gotcha. Are you ready for the Bosnian liquor?
Ready as I'll ever be.
Damn it! I gotta finish my drink.
Don't.
Was that one all amaretto at the bottom? Or?
Yeah, that was. That's why I twitched. Like, that's really sweet.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm gonna lose a tooth of that one.
Well, I thought I mixed it up better, but they're both kind of the same color, so it's not exactly easy to do. You have whoever was first, New York Dolls or Ramones or Sex Pistols. I'm not gonna look it up.
The whole punk thing is predated by harder, faster rock and roll, the MC5, or the band Death. That's not the current death metal band Death.
Yeah.
If you've not heard Death from 1975, you need to. It sounds, the vocals sound very much like if Jimi Hendrix had survived. That's absolutely a fine thing by my book.
I don't think Jimi Hendrix got the credit he deserved. I thought he was a good vocal. He had a very soulful voice, much like SRV did. I thought Stevie Ray Vaughan had a really good quality blues voice. You don't always have to have the best operatic monstrous voice for it to also be a good voice. Like, you have to know I know you're not a big Matchbox 20 fan, but when they wrote songs, they always wrote songs that just complimented Rob Thomas's voice.
I really just preferred Hot Wheels 20.
They always did. Like, they always, which I appreciate because I don't have a really great range, but I sit in my pocket really nicely. I think I'm ready to delve into that, whatever the fuck it is. I'm gonna let you do the honors this time. I'm gonna get our glasses ready.
All right.
Oh, mother of mercy! Whew! I didn't mix mine up very well either.
Nah.
All right, I got some clean glasses, not cheap sunglasses.
My last pair of cheap sunglasses were still $20. Whoops! I'm doing ZZ Top wrong.
Emily and I got buy one get one free Ray-Bans in 2011, and I still have them, and I still absolutely love them.
And you keep murdering the cases. It's hilarious.
I'm on case number 3, and it needs to be old yellered at this point. It needs to go. What are you looking up?
You'll see.
All right. While you're doing that, I'm going to crack this bottle open. I'm both looking forward to this and hoping we don't die. Okay, let's see here. What does that smell like to you? It smells like fresh cherry juice and fingernail polish.
Watch it taste like NyQuil.
Oh, well, it's very thin. We're gonna drink this whole thing because it's if you've never seen this bottle before, surprise you haven't. It's 4 inches tall.
It's a deciliter.
It's bigger than a
bottle of White Out.
I'll be damned. I actually got that right. It's pretty. It gave us enough for about a 3-finger drink with a.
Frank smells pretty inoffensive, but the cherry acetone definitely seems to be apt. Well,
all right.
I give you 1, I give you 2, and I give you the jelly.
Much blander than. It tastes exactly like what it said it would.
I'd have a hard time distinguishing this from that.
Yeah,
the Jeff Reserve on its own.
Yeah,
it's.
Well, I taste wine.
It's no maker's mark.
I taste the wine and the fruits and such. It's a lot blander than I thought it would be. It certainly smells like acidine. But
acetate.
It's not the worst thing I've ever had. I could drink this. Have you ever had absinthe?
Yep.
Me too.
I like it as much as I like Jägermeister, as much as I like Twizzlers, as much as I like standard licorice.
Which is?
Nope. What I have living at Gray's house is a bottle of Marilyn Manson's absinthe.
Mansynth. Ugh.
I picked it up just because it is what it is at 66.6% alcohol by volume.
Of course it is.
Because aren't we funny?
Of course it is.
It still tastes the part. I had to add so much sugar to be able to drink the damn stuff.
Is it hard to put something in your mouth called Mansynth?
I was pretty not bothered by the product name.
I just picture Marilyn Manson sticking his dick in every bottle.
Go on. If that's the case, that is pencil dick.
Okay, yeah, I get. Well, the other side before they sealed it. What do you mean? That's not how they make glass bottles.
Oh, I thought you meant his dick.
That's very inoffensive. It's. It'd be cool if we were just tripping balls in about an hour because that would make for great radio. I'm going to translate all of that, by the way, now that I can...
You can actually see it?
Yeah,
because that picture I took a moment ago, this is the Constitution in Croatian.
I might just take a picture of it and send it to somebody in Croatia and just go, hey, I'll PayPal you $1 or $2 or $5. Just translate this whole bottle to me. I just want to know what it says. Because that's a thing.
Yes.
Thomas is the only one that hasn't paid me for the cabin trip yet. That's Slacker. Which is in 3 weeks.
Give him the boot. Send Brian and Katie instead.
Well, we are tentatively going to do an episode in the mountains. We have to install my software and such on Steve's laptop, which shouldn't be a problem because I have all the interface and everything because that's all that shit works. But good times, man. I cannot wait to go on vacation. Work is burning me out. And I think in the last episode I was talking about stepping down from my job. And I'm going to talk to my director, who is my boss's boss, probably next week about it. I'm gonna see if they can do anything for me because I need a better schedule. I'm taking my music pretty seriously. I'm taking this podcast extremely seriously. I want to do what I want. We had a buddy of ours pass away, and it's life's too short to just be unhappy doing what you're doing. We need to take the necessary steps and do what makes us happy while we're here on this earth because it's all we got, and our friends are what we got, and I love all my friends. I'd do anything for them anytime they would ask me. Cheers. Boy, that's getting more acetone at the bottom, isn't it? Yeah.
In the meantime, don't be so yaptino.
What's that?
Cheap.
Well, I plan on getting borracho. I plan on getting drunk today. Yesterday was the first day I haven't had any booze in a fortnight.
I had a Tecate. I wasn't far off.
That's pretty, yeah. That's a step above a Coke Zero.
Yeah, speaking of friends having passed, friends in Greensboro, my dear hometown, lost their mother to a brain aneurysm. The funeral was yesterday.
Yeah.
I had to park half a mile away because everything else was occupied.
Yeah.
This was the nicest lady ever.
Yeah.
And the presence of everybody at the funeral was absolutely proof. Mm-hmm. A nice little accidental reunion of lots of people I've seen through the years and hadn't seen in, more recent ones. Mm-hmm. But it was the best worst time possible.
Yeah, I mean, are you starting to get I hate to be dark on a very silly podcast that we do, but I mean, it's kind of a thing.
It's our podcast, and we'll cry if we want to. You'd cry too if it happened to you.
Yeah. Have you been getting a sense of your own? What's the word? I'm looking for the right way to put it. Like, have you been getting a sense of time lately? About, you see all the stuff that's going by, and you think you have plenty of time to take care of things, and then time just keeps going by faster and faster, and you wonder where all the time goes. Why is it going so fast? How is it going so fast? And it's like a sense of your own mortality is the thing. It's like, I thought I had plenty of time to take care of all this stuff, and technically we still do. We're still in our 30s, but I mean, that's fast approaching. Let's see here.
Your tagline, sir. What it said.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
Yes. Have you been getting that sense in the last maybe year or two about your own mortality?
Especially if this happens to me.
Mm-hmm.
Goodbye, shit. You'll be lost.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's, yeah. For people who don't know me, I mean, I've kept it together with my situation, because you know what? Your life either goes on if you choose it to, or it doesn't go on. So you have to. You don't know what you can deal with until you have to deal with it. And you know what? It doesn't matter how much money you made or whose asses you had to kiss to get to the top of whatever totem pole you got to. But if you're not happy doing it, then, you know, whatever to you. But that's why I'm thinking about stepping down and doing my music. And
I'm not happy at the bottom of the totem pole where I'm at.
I'm not at the top of the totem pole. We'll just say I'm 2/3 up the totem pole, but because of my tenure and talent, I get away with a lot. But I'm thinking about taking that step back. It'd be a $3. It would be almost a $4 pay cut for me. But with the music, right now my music money is extra money. I would just have to use it as income, which would motivate me to play more shows, which I've done every year since 2011. So I'm doing it. I'm going to do it at the first of the year, unless they offer me something I can't refuse, which is a lot more money and a better schedule. And in that case, what you do?
Gesturing to the bottles again. It's
yes.
Like, oh, The Godfather. How you quoted the thing from The Godfather. I've never even watched The Godfather, any of the three of them.
Full circle. I haven't either, and I've watched.
Oddly enough, the Doors album without Jim Morrison was called Full Circle.
Fuck Jim Morrison. What have I told you about slamming the Doors? I don't really like the Doors. I like Other Side.
Yeah, it was fun musical experimentation in high school.
Oh wow, you've already finished it before me.
Again.
Oh wow, okay.
No, if ever you need to get cheered up, hey, now imagine the Doors songs as sung by B-52 singer Fred Schneider.
Oh hell yes.
There's a killer on the road. His brain is swimming like a toad. Get out of the road, toad.
You know it would be untrue. Come on, baby, light my fire.
Credit Danny Gould for that one.
Oh my God, yeah. I need to listen to him more.
Yes.
I mean, and by more, I mean I need to listen to him. We spiked it by talking about that. That's great.
No.
Steve, what are we going to have next? It's your pick. You pick whatever. I've picked the liquor drinks first.
Step it down a few notches.
Let's
have an Irish stout.
An Irish stout? Or do you want to go... We could step it
Or gradually.
Let's do the Oscar...
Okay.
Yeah, I figure that's probably best.
Here, you pick. No, I'll pick. All right.
You pick, but I'll pour. How about that?
Yeah.
Pick and pour. Wait a minute. That's not how this car lot works.
How bad is that nose condition of yours?
Oh, you go ahead and laugh in the mic. It doesn't matter. Steve, what are we drinking now?
The thing you just said.
But
Oh, chub.
I just gave Steve a chub. Steve, all right, we're gonna let's open the tabs at the same time in the mic and see how high we can get it. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's a good spike.
Yep. It looks like we got the two. No, I put the shaked up one in the back. So we just cheers our chubbies. It's not gay, though. Balls didn't touch. Yep. That's as delicious as it usually is.
What do you call it instead of headbutt?
Ooh. A headbutt. I also learned from Bert Kreischer what an Alabama wet wipe is. It's when you're in the toilet and you spit on the toilet paper.
I think that's your next band name.
The Alabama wet wipes. I love his podcast and when he's on, but like I watched some of his stand up and I didn't enjoy it as much as I did Segura's, but I did watch Joe Rogan's newest one and it was super duper funny. The bit about the if you're a vegan, you cannot own a cat. Think about that as long as you need to, viewers and listeners, but Steve knows what I'm talking about. Cats are carnivores.
My cat's not a vegan. I need to take care of Kitty.
Evidently, I have not done it, but he goes, go ahead, Google vegan cat and look at how miserable the cats look. Cats are meant to eat meat. They have to eat meat.
What's next? You're saying you can't be a vegan and drive a car with a leather interior?
As long as you don't eat it.
Considering that you're driving a car made of cowhide.
True, and I think Clarkson said that in the modern Rolls Royces, if like every one Rolls Royce has 3 cows worth of leather in it, which is insane to think about.
I've heard that Rolls will use Scandinavian cows. A, that sounds fancy as shit. 2, further north, you've got fewer creatures trying to eat the cows, therefore resulting in better quality hides.
Why don't they just get them from India? That was got to be the best quality cow. But they don't kill them or eat them there.
Bugs aren't Hindus. Say you've got, mosquito bites in your leather. That doesn't make a good-looking leather hide. To make that nice big swath of leather going across your car seat takes a decent side of cow. And, should said imaginary cow in India live in India in 120-degree heat, it's going to have some malaria-ridden mosquitoes not giving a shit what it's going to eat. Oh, look. Here's something warm. Let's draw its blood, too.
I need to return my rolls because it has mosquito bites in the leather seats. Wait, it's just ribbed for your pleasure. That's all.
Not now, no effects.
That's punk rock.
And they had an album called Ribbed.
Okay, so all right, so we already mentioned those 3. For those of you just tuning in, I don't know why you would skip ahead to 34 minutes in, but New York Dolls, the Ramones, and the Sex Pistols. After that,
I really could have used a heads up on this one, by the way. It's like I've got half an idea, but it's like I could have had a better one. It's like there's a lot of stuff to listen to, and I can't brain drop as well as I feel I could.
We've had whatever the fuck that is, and by the way, I'm sweaty after drinking that. I don't know what it did to me, but now my internal thermometer has reached about 100 Kelvin.
A bit balmy in here.
Yeah, well, I have the AC on, and it's like 70 degrees outside, so there's really no excuse for that. Into the early 80s, all right, when did Black Flag become a thing?
81. So Rollins joined a little soon after. The singer was dropping out, and the band had met him. And I was like, "You seem like an insistent enough dude. Do you want to join?" So he quit his job at Haagen-Dazs, and then the rest of it is history. He's got he's got a lot of stories surrounding the ins and outs of, just scraping by, and then joining the band, and then still scraping by, but living in the band, life on the road.
Yep.
And then when the band's not touring, he started doing the talking tours real soon, to which Kayla and I have been to 2.
She enjoys it as much as you do, doesn't she?
Yes.
He's fascinating.
Yep.
He's a great guy.
Like, if he wasn't so afraid of food outside the U.S., I want him to host Parts Unknown. Unfortunately, life on the road, Cliff Bars. Cliff Bar. Like, dude, no. Go eat that octopus tentacle that's still, nudging you its way.
I just figured out why they call them Cliff Bars.
The dude's name was Cliff?
No, because it's enough of a meal to get you by, much like Cliff's Notes are enough of the story.
Ooh. That did not get me through AP English back in the day.
Would you like to hear a funny, educated...
That said, I should not have attempted that.
Do you want to hear a funny story about education from me as I eat my sweet tarts? Damn, that's good. Please help me eat this candy.
Yes, but not on mic.
Fuck it.
The dozen people listening will not appreciate the... at least it's not the masticulation noise.
Yeah.
But it's cellophane.
As a rising junior, in fact, from basically every English class I had to take at my high school, if you took honors English, you had to buy for $5 the summer reading book and then write a report on it, which they gave you the report. They gave you the report about the book you had to read when you bought the book. So I bought the book, and I didn't read the book. I wrote how that was paying for public education because they would not let you take honors English unless you physically bought the book. You bought the book. You could not take honors English even if you had the grades. I had the grades. So I bought the book, and then I didn't read it, and I forgot. I think it was My Antonia was the name of the book. But
I don't have a knack for that. My Antonia.
Sounds like a pizza joint, actually.
That too.
So I wrote a 3-page paper on how I felt like that was paying for public education, and I got a 50 on it. I got half of a perfect score, and I didn't even read the book. And here's a fun fact. Most teachers, and this one included, they always drop the lowest grade anyway. So I made a 98 in the class. I was doing education right, because high school was a breeze, which is why I graduated 11th in my class. And it paid off. Look what I'm doing for a living.
How many people at the grocery store could say they've been there that long and making that much, though?
I mean, is what it is.
Could it be better? Yes. Could it be worse? Very yes.
Absolutely be worse. I was talking about that with one of our regular customers. He works third shift as a security guard, and he's huge, and he's super duper nice guy.
Wait, so you have a grocery store bouncer?
Pretty much, and he
I only see them at Ross.
He is super
they're
cool.
always cool as shit. It's like, I don't got to do nothing here. Like the one on Eastway, maybe you do.
Probably. He's cooler than the other two guys on Friends, right? Oh, wrong Ross.
Nah.
Couldn't get into Friends. I tried, couldn't do it.
That's one of the shows in regular rotation. Main reason for watching that show.
Rachel?
Yep.
I kind of think Lisa Kudrow's pretty.
There's no kinda about it.
Okay.
Everyone on the show was picked because they're cute.
Uh-huh. Even Courtney Cox.
Then, yes. Now, she looks like Dead or Alive.
Really? Ooh. Because Jennifer Aniston still is... Time has been very kind to her. Much like it has Sella Ward. Much like it has Helen Mirren.
Much like it has me. I got mistaken for 28 the other day at the bar.
Did you give them a hug?
Just a thank you.
Who mistook you for?
one of the newer girls. I couldn't tell you.
Describe. Long straight hair?
Yep. The girl that looks like a 6/10 scale Jennifer Aniston. Oddly enough.
I think I know who you're talking about.
It was like, what are you, 28? It's like, I just told you my 21st birthday is almost going to be old enough to drive.
That wasn't It wasn't our waitress though.
No, it was somebody else like signed by like driving a beer off like, and then we got that was one like we got into the hey, how old am I? And then like John and like John says he's 22. She says she's 23. He's like, I'm almost 37.
Oh, that's Alexis. Her name's Alexis. Because I told her she looked like Heather Locklear, and she goes, "Who's that?" And I went, "Really? Never mind."
Somebody famous before you were born.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of old chub,
nice. What's gonna look up?
Well, we were talking about Lisa Kudrow, and then you decided to pick.
Oh yeah.
Courtney Cox now.
Yep.
Okay. Is she still married to
David Arquette?
Yeah, Arquette.
I don't know and would doubt it.
Is she married to Rosanna?
Maybe I don't need that all the way.
By the way, I do like Africa, but now it's being everywhere now. I just don't want to listen to the song anymore.
That is the most wrong thing you've ever said.
Hey, I could look at the map right now if I want to. In fact, I am. Mali, Niger, Chad, Sudan, Ethiopia. Please find a good one. All right, so I'm assuming...
all right, then don't post that then.
I'm assuming all of the characters in Friends are at least 45, if not 50. I'm assuming.
What, now?
Yeah, I'm assuming.
50 plus.
50 plus.
That show debuted in 95.
Boy.
The Saucer, a few weeks ago, hosted Friends Trivia. That proved to be so popular, we're in the back room, back corner. Therefore, you can't hear the questions. So this gave us sheets of what the questions are.
Yeah.
Like, here, write these in. Like,
Google.
Couldn't get through like a quarter of them. Like, trouble is, like, well, you've got other people playing. Like, you can't just go look them up because you'll get ratted out.
Well, I don't really like the theme trivias because I'm not good at them. Well, the thing too, like with trivia, to me, I think that it needs.
This is the Dead Kennedys plastic surgery disasters.
Oh, that's Courtney Cox's hand. You were right, man. Mark has been giving me a lot of suggestions lately. I don't care. I don't.
Even the left picture?
Yep, I'd wreck it. Yep, like Ralph.
Like her surgeon.
That's fine. I mean, with your eyes closed, it all feels the same anyway. It really fucking does. Wow, all right. Punk rock.
No, that's not. That picture's giving me an innie. It's negative boner.
It's not a rowdy innie, is it? So after
oddly enough, Audi comes from Ingolstadt, so that's the nickname of Ingolstadt.
Jesus Christ.
So Audi comes from innie.
After during Black Flag, I'm trying to think of any other punk bands because NoFX was 90s, right?
They started in the 80s and made it huge in the 90s.
Rollins' band was late 80s.
That was post Black Flag, yes.
Okay.
And
well, he went to jail, right? Henry Rollins went to jail for a little bit, didn't he? Not for like a year, but like for like a couple of weeks. And then I think he got into to Rollins' band shortly after.
The band dissolved in, I think, 86, and then he started doing his own thing a little bit after. I'm unaware of if or when jail time.
Okay. I could be wrong. I don't know why I thought that, but it seemed like that seemed correct. But I can't think of any other 80s really big punk rock acts, and because turn of 1990s you had
Kennedys.
What, the Kennedys 80s?
Yeah, that was 80 to 86. Like the very thing I showed you was quintessential bonkers ass, let's all be socialists punk rock. That is one of my dearest bands and one of the most difficult things to listen to.
You have to,
basically, they start off strong and then shit just gets weird as time goes on.
you have to really be in the mood to listen to. Okay, there's a couple of bands like that with me. I just have to be.
Yeah, and then subsequently, Jelly Biafra, not his real name, has done lots of little things with lots of little bands along the way. So trying to track down his discography really takes some digging. So bring a shovel. And maybe some earmuffs. He does spoken word stuff too. Like Rollins, fun travelogue.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what's wrong and why. Jello's too far out there.
Like,
He's from San Francisco. Back prior to the band even starting, like him at 20 was trying to put something on the ballot that all businessmen must wear clown outfits.
I'm not opposed.
I don't wish to disperse clowns that badly.
So 90s, you had the resurgence. But do you count?
Early Bad Religion was in the early 80s, but also they made it much bigger in the 90s with Infected and 21st Century Digital Boy. Why, yes, I am one.
Who sang Plow? The song Plow? Was it?
That's not ringing a bell.
You got your thing out. Son of a bitch. I can't remember. My head's not working today. It's been a week.
It's also been a couple of drinks and a strong beer.
And something in Croatian.
Sponge Plowed?
Sponge. Is Sponge punk rock? Plow's the only song.
I think that would blur the line between grunge and punk.
Grunge?
Not grunge. Grunge punk.
Punch.
Dude, I fucking loved that song when it came out. And I had no idea what the hell 16 Candles was when Molly came out. Like, oh, that sounds cool.
Same band?
Same band.
Okay.
Those are their few hits. Like, Grant and I saw them at Amos's back when that was still a thing. Like, back when they sold the spiral staircases.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that was cool as shit.
Yes.
They were from Detroit.
Rock City. There's worse bands that came from Detroit. We've covered that in, I believe,
multiple episodes.
2, 4, 6, 8, 10. All the even number episodes.
I'm going to make a band that sings nothing but Kiss songs, but in French. One guess
Kiss.
what they're called it.
Not every Kiss does not begin with K.
For me, it does.
I consider Sponge punk rock. I consider early Green Day punk rock.
Yeah, up until about Dookie was very, very punky, very fast, very fun.
Are you including Dookie?
Sure,
because
that was like gateway drug in the punk, like that,
yeah.
like the Offspring concurrent. Like, so it's really fun to see like the music mags of the day. That was always like the big war of Green Day versus Offspring. Like, who's gonna do it? Like,
they like each other,
and they're both still active bands.
Yeah,
like considering what we know about a lot of bands of that era, you couldn't have predicted that. Like,
no.
All right, so Billy Joe and friends are activists, and Dexter Highland finally got his PhD in microbiology.
Yeah, he's a genius, by the way.
What the yuckity fuck?
Yep. If you didn't know that, guys,
Offspring was my favorite band leaving high school.
By the way,
and then it morphed into KMFDM. Then it morphed into Queens of the Stone Age.
Have you ever heard of Authority?
No, I've not heard of.
Take two. My old roommate, Derek, used to listen to a punk band called Authority Zero, and for the life of me, I can't remember I've tried to look them up before, and I can't find any shit on them, and I know that was their name. I'll find like 1 or 2 songs by them, and it was very...
So next to nothing.
It was
But
very...
that's still something.
Yep, it's a real band. I know it's a real band, but I can't not remember any song they sang, and I can't find much on them anymore. It must have been like a one and done sort of thing.
Here day, gone today. Well, yesterday I saw the sister of the drummer from Weekend Excursion.
Ooh.
It was a band that I saw a lot because I knew the drummer, so got to know the rest of the band, got to know the manager. Like, long enough ago that the manager hanging out with him at one of the shows, like, hey, man, can I buy you a beer? Like, I'm not 21 yet, and I don't want to get you in trouble. It's like, trying to be, like, responsible 19-year-old.
I got to imagine.
That was a fun time.
You had to have looked pretty similar to how you look now, though.
Yes.
Okay.
Like, I do appreciate it, other Mark.
Time has been kind to us, too.
Yep. It was really strange, like, seeing a lot of, like, old friends back, like, yesterday. Like, and like, well, it's evident the adults are more elderly adultly now. Some of us have aged well, some not so much.
Ooh.
It's like,
by the way,
I'm pushing 37 and looking like I'm 28.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how she landed on the number, but thank you.
one of our former employees was 18, and she said, "What's there fun to do around here?" I think it was Halloween last year. I was like, I don't know. I'm at the time 31 years old.
Yeah,
I don't do fun anymore at Halloween. She goes, "Oh, my mom's 34." I'm like, "Oh, you just made this conversation very, very weird." She goes, "I thought you were like 23 or 24." I'm like, Thank you, but you just still made this conversation pretty weird. She's not there anymore. And by the way,
it's like recently
it was last year about this time, and she was 18 and had a 3-year-old daughter. Oh boy, that family knows. Could you imagine being a grandparent at 34 years old?
I can't imagine being a parent at 34 years old, let alone a grandparent.
I can't imagine being 34 years old.
Czech's watch.
No, not Czech. Slavic.
Slavic's watch.
The slotch. Instead of the swatch, is the slotch.
This might as well be a swatch.
I love that. That is so great.
The Nintendo controller watch is back, y'all.
I've had 4 different people.
I'll update the Instagram page I've neglected since we started this thing.
Yeah, please. Yeah, upgrade. Because I'm in charge of the Facebook and everything. You have to do the Instagram. Because I don't even know what that is. I thought it was when I had my grandma on speed dial.
Nah. I'm going to need Mark Edward for that. He's got fabulous hair.
You would have more time to dedicate to that when you have your day Monday through Friday job that you've been chasing.
Yeah, and that may or may not look a lot like Brian's old job. So that'll be Monday to Friday on the road. But fuck it. If it can get an extra $10 an hour out of it, that's cool.
Well, you know what? We can do this podcast on Sunday night because I haven't closed a Sunday night in over a year. So, and close, I get off at 8, so we can still go. So, there will be plenty of time for that because we're on episode 18 already, which is mind-boggling.
It's funny that by this point in time, the This American Life radio show that was much later turned into podcasts that we know and enjoy and is still a radio show changed names. It started off as Your Radio Playhouse. And then by episode 18, This American Life took flight late 95, early 96.
Mm-hmm. And now Prairie Home Companion is live from here with Tom Papa being the chief writer. And he has a new show on, I think, Travel Channel or Food Network or something where Tom Papa is a bread maker. He is a artisan bread maker. And he has a show where he travels to different bakeries. And it's I haven't watched any of the show, but I've heard him talking about it. And it's It's Tom Papa. It's like listening to your cool uncle talk.
Mike?
Is everybody in your family named Mike?
2 of them. I've got a brother and an uncle, both named Mike. And why, yes, Mike was totally named for Mike.
And every one of the Knicks spring now is either taken or engaged. How about that?
Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, it's like, of course, the cute one gets taken first.
I mean, it happens.
Let's face it. If you see a picture of all of us, we do look alike.
You do.
My brother's giving me mad beer jealousy right now, though.
Oh,
it's super scrub it. Oh,
that's okay.
You didn't drink enough.
That's okay.
Here, spill mine instead. Ladies and gentlemen, there's been a bit of a tip over on the SSL Chub.
That's the first time we've spilled any alcohol here.
That's impressive.
Let me go get a paper towel real quick. You just keep the people company.
Why?
Because I said so. I'm going to be like right out here, so it's not a big deal.
Let's face it, folks. He can edit all of this out anyway. Man. What can I say, guys? This has been fun. I hope you've enjoyed what you've been listening to and will continue to enjoy. Yes, there is an Instagram page, and that's absolutely been neglected since about day 3. But it will be on Instagram at CBGPod. On there, if I recall correctly, there's a logo and the picture of me goofing off during the eclipse that was, last year?
Last August.
Yeah, so it was that picture of me with the funky sunglasses and wearing way too many headphones. I just posted that on there too because I want to have some fun with this.
Yes,
and this is the first public announcement of that being a thing of something I did start a long time ago but haven't done anything with.
Oh, the Instagram?
Yeah,
please update that.
Yes,
I try to update the Facebook page all the time.
Yes.
Come on, man. I forgot what I was going to say. Yeah, that's the first spillage, and it was because I was being stupid, and I don't know what I was trying to do, but I was being stupid.
You high-fived your glass. Is the zapper okay?
Zapper's okay.
Good.
Zapper's okay. Power Glove's okay.
Zapper okay is a very important thing, especially should you go to Charleston in the near future, or the burb of it named Somerville. Why is that, you say? What do you play using this gun? Specific game.
Oh, duck cunt.
Yes. Wouldn't you know that Arby's famously advertises, we have the meats.
We do.
And if you go to the Somerville, Charleston location or a dozen other ones around the country in the near future, they have a duck sandwich.
Fuck.
And this is all locally sourced, so the options to find them are few and far between. And the nearest to us is in Somerville, outside Charleston, so still 3 hours away to get a fast food duck sandwich.
Shake that Daffy Taffy. I had sesame.
They have this prop here, is kind of perfect. That said, this is orange zapper, the later model, not the gray zapper, because the cops will kill you if you have a fake gun. So therefore, folks, paint all your real guns bright orange.
I had sesame duck by accident one time at a Chinese place. Explanation upon request.
Awesome. How'd you wind up with sesame duck?
We went to Grand Asia Market in
open
Raleigh.
Anything?
So if you've never been to a Grand Asia Market and you're in, I don't know if they're outside of North Carolina, but there's one in Cary, there's one in Charlotte.
Super G here. Or is there also
no? It's actually called Grand Asia Market. Like the only thing they have is Chinese, Japanese, Laotian, Filipino, Korean, Vietnamese.
That's funny because Callan's bringing dinner home from either Saigon Bay or Tamarind. Do Tamarind switch gears from Indian to like Thai and Laotian food?
Still Asian. How great. You kind of look like Sister Mary Catherine Gallagher right now.
If I'm gonna sniff my pants, it's gonna do this way, not this nonsense. Thank you.
Yeah, that's the smelfy. The smelfy.
Yeah. I'm right and left guarded. Thank you. That's like, well, cheaper than Old Spice. Sorry, Old Spice. I love your ads, though.
So I believe the day after Christmas of 2013, 2014, we went to Grand Asia Market to pick up something for dinner for the Ty Latowski Holt wing meritage of family that we are now. And Emily's like, well, I'm hungry. Let's get something to eat. And I was like, always. I'm always okay with this. So if you've never been to Grand Asia Market, and I don't think you have you? You need to go. My God, it's fucking fantastic. And I don't know what anything is, but it's all delicious. They have a restaurant in there, and they also have different aisles, and everything's obvious.
Bring me the squidopus. I want the thing with 9 tentacles.
No, these go to 11 tentacles.
Ooh.
11. Oh, so 11.
What was that? The fisherman's wife? The Porname from Archer. Thanks, Krieger.
Yes.
You're a pal.
But the savings.
Keep saying that too.
We got what we thought was sesame chicken from the restaurant before we went and do our shopping, because you eat before you do your shopping, because if you do your shopping when you're hungry, you come home with a million things that you're not going to eat all up before they expire.
This is how and why IKEA is dangerous.
It's very dangerous.
Ancestry told me I'm 33% Scandinavian, so I got to pedal IKEA once in a while. That said, my sob's going to be Japanese.
How did you put that together?
With an Allen wrench.
Was it included?
Yes.
They're so nice. We sat down and
That's why they're better than we are.
We shared our sesame quote unquote chicken, and it looked like chicken. And I take my chopsticks and I eat it.
Like chicken.
And I chew it. And I'm like, this is really good. This is really good. And then instead of eating the whole bite like I usually do, I kind of nibbled and looked at the inside of it, and that doesn't look like chicken to me. And I'm like, Emmy, I don't want to make a huge deal out of this, but this is not chicken. And she quit chewing. She goes, well, what is it? I was like, I think it's duck. And she's like, it does kind of have that greasy, good.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. It's
the thing is, a chicken is not waterproof. A duck is.
Yeah. I was like, I don't want to make a huge deal out of this. This is not chicken. This is duck. It's got to be, because if you've never been to Grand Asia, have you been to Grand Asia?
No.
Have you ever seen, like, when you watch Parts Unknown or No Reservations, you walk into a butcher shop and they have the animals hanging up. That's how Grand Asia is. They have like a whole duck hanging up, chicken. They all have them hanging upside down. And I'm thinking, I think they just grabbed the wrong flightless bird and... Oh, ducks fly.
Ducks fly.
Yeah, chickens fly for a little bit.
Yeah, it's I played Zelda.
Sorry, I was thinking sesame emu.
Go.
Ooh.
Have I told you I want to go to New Zealand?
Rachel Hunter is a little past her prime, but I mean, she's from New Zealand. She was a model. What? Hold on. All right. We Look Up Shit Pod, episode 98.
18. Get your numbering right, man.
Oh, boy. Rachel Hunter was a supermodel from New Zealand back in the 90s. So, Rachel Hunter. Actress? Get the fuck out of here with that. She's not an actress.
Yeah, about as much an actress as Emily Ratajkowski.
I married her. Oh, never mind.
Did you ever see the Blurred Lines video?
Was that the brunette?
Yep. Apparently, she's going to be in the movie Cruise, about 1980s cruising around New York.
Terry or Tom?
Tom New York?
Tom. I can't find a really good picture. Oh, there we go. She was a supermodel back in the 90s. Time has been fairly kind to her.
And according to this picture, she's a lovely 40-something in a sweater.
Yep, pretty much. TurboTax, we've missed you. Yeah, I'll bet. It's fucking October. Yeah, that's why you've missed me.
Yeah, see you fuckers on April 16th.
Hey, you know what? If I owe, I'll see you in April. If you owe me, I'll see you in late January. What do you want next?
I would hope the Mabel Bacon thingy is be a thing. Hold my headphones. Watch this.
Oh, I will not do that, but I'll
do both of the Maples.
Yeah, sure. Why not? I mean, I gave you a chub last time. Oh boy, I got to tell you guys, we got the Jefferson's Reserve as the bourbon for the first drink, and Thomas bought it. But I'll be honest with you guys, this thing was over $50, and I don't remember how much it was. I know it was over $50.
And now we know it's worth $20.
It's not very good. It's mostly gone because I've been making Godfathers with it. Surprise, Thomas, but you owe me money anyway, so I'm drinking your liquor that you bought. For over $50, it better be better than Knob Creek or Maker's Mark.
Y'all not familiar with 24-hour rule?
That's true.
That said, thanks for not drinking my fake Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, well, I don't.
Already brought another one.
I drink diet drinks that are soda. I don't drink diet beers.
Hey, cancer's thinning.
It's thinner. Did you, the Family Guy episode?
Hey,
it's like Britney Spears' dietitian. Thicker. Steve, what are we drinking now?
Grainsmith Maple Brown Ale. This was a find from Lidl. Thanks, Germany. And this is in cahoots with Central Virginia Brewing Company of Crozet, Virginia, which is probably part of... Shit, I used to have the answer of a brewery in Charlottesville that may or may not be part of Anheuser-Busch, but it's so far removed and so cheap. The savings.
So why does the mascot on the front look just like Chili Klaus?
A, I don't know who that is, and two, yes, he is.
Chili Klaus. He is a chili pepper enthusiast from the Netherlands. Yep.
Does he have a Black Phillip as well? Because that is the most non-PC thing ever. He's a Mac.
Yep. And a handsome devil, if I might add.
Well, no, I'm not going to look like a 40.
Yeah, no, because you've kept all your hair, asshole. So
that is going to be the easiest Halloween costume ever, and nobody else is going to know who that is.
I will, but you're going to have to carry around a habanero pepper with you, which I can purvey for you since that's kind of my thing.
What?
Cheers to the Maple Brown Ale. Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Where'd you get this?
Lidl. Concord Mills. Funny thing about them opening earlier than Aldi at 8 instead of 9, and it's midway between work and home. I make it there once a week to go see what I can find for Bleebly and blah blah. Probably my favorite find there lately was the $9 1.7 pound steak.
That's a steak.
It was good for both Kalen and me that have leftovers.
Jesus.
And also combined with the mustard sauce from Yoshi's and Huntersville, because University has long since closed.
You still need to give me some of the sauce. I'm a sauce guy. I need the sauce.
It's like $7 a pint. It's expensive. It's good, but it's like she keeps picking up more of it. Like, cool. I'm gonna go visit a doc's appointment, back up that away from way back whenever. Yeah, the sauce is incredible. And added fresh ginger to it as well.
I mean,
when they say the phrase marrying up, I think I figured that out.
All right, so I'm a part-time ginger enthusiast because I don't eat it with my sushi, and I know you love it because I always give you my ginger and you give me your wasabi.
Mm-hmm.
I've come to like ginger a lot more than I used to. We sell a ton of ginger root at our store. It's not cheap. It's $3.50 a pound, but it takes a lot of ginger to make a pound, and who needs a pound of ginger? That's a little dabble do ya situation. Usually, it's very strong.
Considering our previous preferences, about 100 to 130 seemed like sufficient amount.
We need to eat sushi soon because I haven't eaten sushi in over 2 months.
Yeah, I haven't cooked any fish yet, so I haven't made any of my own.
Thomas and I are going to do a grilled fish extravaganza. So you're invited if you want to come. Give me that arm if you want it twisted.
Use this one.
I don't want to Indian sunburn. I can't Indian sunburn you with one arm. I don't have the dexterity for that.
It's like, you got to use your mitts to play.
So, Steve and me and Thomas have been kind of experimenting with hot sauce and marinades. So I've created La Platano Muerte, which is the banana of death. And it's one whole pureed banana, cayenne pepper sauce, or cayenne peppers, vinegar, Worcestershire, and one habanero, minced habanero. Steve liked that one. That was my recipe. Well, cracked black pepper and salt to taste.
I only got a half death out of that one.
Yeah, it's true. We could have made it hotter, but we were thinking of the kids. We were thinking
the kids appreciate it.
Yes, and Thomas and I were thinking about doing an apple habanero bourbon marinade. Steve and I were thinking about doing the pina colada wings, the pineapple coconut wings. The CBGPod wing sauce. Dare we have...
Make our own endorsement for a thing to do a thing?
CBW?
How do you make Godfather
wings?
Sauce?
Oh my God, that would be...
You're welcome.
Oh, come here, Pen. Godfather
Can't
wings.
remember this one. What?
Cherry amaretto bourbon wings. Esteban, that sounds delightful.
I make a wing sauce you can't refuse.
That sounds good. It'll be our own Brando.
Marlon.
There's no weigh-ins that wouldn't be popular. Oh, keep the pun. Let's keep
Game on, Damon.
We have a bunch of candy in front of us, and here's a shout-out to Sweetwater, not brewing. Shout-out to Sweetwater. We talked about them before, but Sweetwater.com is a musical instrument and live audio. Anything musical you could possibly dream up, they have.
Theremin.
Yes, they have in stock. And every time you order something from Sweetwater.com, not only is it free shipping, no matter what size it is, it's free 2-day shipping, but they give you a free bag of candy with every order. And I have a bunch of candy because I've ordered a bunch of new stuff from Sweetwater, which is good because I need help eating all this candy, and I have much of a sweet tooth, but Steve does. Emily does.
Sometimes. For what it's worth, it's not bothering me much, but I was trying to take preventive measures by the mention of that earlier. Whatever.
She's eating a Tootsie Roll. How come nobody's made a Tootsie Roll beer? Yeah.
I bet that's something somewhere West Coast that we...
You shot? What?
Oh. I left the wrapper right there. I guess that'll flow you through.
Yeah, I took that.
Cool. It's your studio. Do what you want.
I have a trash can now. It's a Jason's Deli bucket
Nice.
that had potato salad or something in it.
I was like, that are pickles. They do like their buckets of stuff.
Bucket of stuff. Bucket of stuff. It's a bucket of stuff. Bucket of stuff.
Yeah, you put your string behind the bucket, and the ball puts in the bucket. Then it falls out the bucket. Then you put your ball back in the bucket. You're having fun.
It's okay.
Yay.
The ball is on a string and attached to the bucket. You got to work. All right, you work tonight.
Yep.
And you're going to
Atlanta. Hey there, cats and kittens. It's probably too little too late by the time you hear this, but the Decatur Beer Festival is going on in not quite Atlanta, Georgia, over this weekend, October 20th.
Toby and Thomas's birthdays.
Hey,
together.
Happy birthday, y'all.
Toby 39, Thomas
Arf.
33.
Way to go, youngins. This will be my 10th out of 11 in a row. Last year I got skipped because my host had a kid on the way and was not prepared to have guests.
Weak.
Since then, kids are all right.
Offspring.
Kids aren't all right.
We need to go back to that, but continue.
And also, since then, switch houses. So apparently we can no longer walk to the beer festival from his place. Because it was really cool walking a mile down the sidewalk through Decatur, Georgia, with these irresponsibly awesome mansions going to the beer festival. Some decorated, some not, but always fabulous.
Of course.
I joke and say, this is the Matthews of Atlanta. Nothing in Matthews looks like these castles. I don't know what happened post Sherman's march through Atlanta, or maybe in the adjacent towns, but that is a needlessly cool town.
Mm-hmm. If you have time, and I don't know how far away it is, but there's a pizza place called Big Pie in the Sky in somewhere in the greater metro Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
And you can get a 35-inch pizza, and if you and a friend finish it in an hour, you get it for free and $500. It's a shame I have to work this weekend, because I would accept that challenge.
I know you've seen me eat.
Mm-hmm.
I'm only a part-time glutton. That's going to take a special brand of, I've been on a diet of nothing but carrots and broccoli for a while to be hungry enough to even attempt to do a quarter of that.
Well, come on. If we do 60,
yeah.
We do 60-40. I'll do the 60. Thomas and I are single-handedly the reason Fox and Hound don't do 35-cent wings anymore.
Dude, I think it was last pod was talking about Hibernian with 10-cent wings. And oh yeah, we had 30 people descend on the bar to immediately kibosh that. And nowadays, wings will happily cost, very rarely 50 cents a wing now.
Yep, even
and then,
DD Peckers.
And then you have to cook them yourself.
Yeah, which is my beef with the melting pot.
I'm going to say with McDonald's, because every time they do the wings, that puts a wing shortage on the rest of the country.
That it does.
That says, they don't suck, but I do like my nuggets boneless.
I can eat them with a fork and not be.
That's what I keep thinking they are.
Every time we take Thomas wing eating, if whatever the amount of wings he orders is the amount of napkins he uses. I'm like,
let me see that napkin roll.
I'm like, dude, just eat all your wings and then wipe your hands.
Huh?
Wiping your that would be like swimming laps in a pool, and after every lap, drying off.
Get back in.
And get back in. It's pointless. Thomas and I, one time, I ate 70 hot wings at Fox and Hound by myself in 2 hours, which not bad.
Shit, goddamn.
Yes.
Yeah, that's impressive.
It was. It was more impressive that when we got the bill and I got my bill and I'm like, I didn't eat that many, because she goes, yes, you did. And the kitchen was like, is this for the same table? Because they would only...
It's not often I hear commentary from the kitchen surrounding whatever I've eaten. Crab legs.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of effort for lots of deliciousness, but hot damn if that's a touch more difficult. But the same idea of, blah, blah, it's all you can eat, or, X amount per yay many.
Yep. Because eat all you can eat is different than eat all you can. I have a problem with buffet. I don't know when to stop because I'm a goldfish, which is why I don't go to buffets anymore. Whatever food you put in front of me, I'm going to eat all of.
That said, the Chinese buffet next to the saucer still open.
Lotus.
It's they might as well rename it the Locust.
Heroes in a half shell. Flower power.
It's been a hot minute since I've been there, because last I went there, I quickly didn't feel good after that.
Yep.
But also the one over at Promenade.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know if that's still there, but there was another Asian buffet there.
Yep.
Which was also like, go see, eat everything.
Ooh.
Why is my stomach external?
Yep. So here's the moral of the story, and this is back in my Conquest and Starion days. I knew a guy named Ben who worked for Ecolab, which is a
drug testing company,
close,
or environmental services company.
It's like the diet health department.
Okay.
So they can't shut you down, where the health department can shut you down.
They can make suggestions to the
They can say, you need
department.
to change this or you're going to get shut down. I was like, what are the worst restaurants or retail establishments that you typically do? And
the Hardee's on Little Rock.
He always said any Chinese buffet is going to have the lowest score and the worst shit going on, because they just try to get as much food as possible out there. How about the one in China Grove where the Chinese restaurant the Mexican restaurant got shut down because they were slaughtering a live goat in the kitchen? Do you remember that a couple of years ago?
No, but hey, man, got to do what you got to do to keep it fresh.
Exactly. I don't see the problem with this at all. You're not going to get any kind of horrible bacteria from a live animal like that. Now, okay, so if you eat raw chicken, you're going to probably die. Raw fish, you're going to live. Yep. Raw beef, you're going to live. Raw goat.
It's still warm-blooded and decent enough size.
The chicken
I think
would
it'd be
probably
more
kill
beefy.
you.
Yeah, chicken, famously salmonella-ridden.
Yep.
Got to cook it right.
Mm-hmm.
Turn it res white.
Yep. The other white meat.
I think it's the preliminary, but whatever. Raw pork. Famously,
no.
Yeah, cook that, brown it, yeah,
red
yeah.
swine.
Stay away from me. Go the hell away, piggy.
Oh, that's good.
Until you're caught on fire.
Every time we drink liquor, the episode takes weird turns. I don't care.
That's it's like I'm not keen on UB40, but that's a perfect juxtaposition for that song.
Oh boy.
The other white meat.
By the way, I like
it's ever awesome.
Weird vegetables and shit. I have a little bit of trepidation about, but like
so
any kind of
you
weird
and vegetables, period, famously so.
True. But
You don't like the end product.
any kind of game or any kind of different meat, I am all about trying.
I gotta say, eating an unwrapped copy of Arkanoid isn't delicious.
Oh,
Tastes kind of plasticky.
unwrapped. You have an eyelash that I'm going to grab because it's bothering me. Got it.
Thanks.
No problem.
Bug this eye.
It was. I don't know. It was.
The definition of irony: eyelashes protect your eyes from dirt. What do? Get stuck in your eye.
Well played. Look up ninjas in the dictionary. Ninjas not found. Well played, ninjas. Well played. I've borrowed your "What's up, my ninja" from people, and then they get a little confused and they go, "Oh, that it's acceptable." I had a thought in my head. And
I don't remember if that was an original thought or something I stole, but thank you.
Hey, man, I stole my band name. It's all good.
Yeah, and then you eventually heard back from dude, like, nah.
He's like, hey,
Have fun.
It's a good name. We don't play anymore. Go ahead. Go nuts with it.
Nice.
Yep. That's a verbal contract, yo.
Yeah, so did he send you any of his old stuff? And could you play it?
He did not, actually. And if you, well...
Charlie's like trying to look up your own band name, expecting to find something that's not your own band. Could be real difficult. This ain't MySpace anymore.
If you type Analog Crash into Google, I'm very proud that not only are we pretty much every hit on there, but it's a lot of good stuff. But you can still find a couple of the old stuff too. But it's a quantity thing.
Old stuff can be good stuff. You mean
it's more recent because they didn't use that name till since 2008, 2009.
Okay.
And when I decided to use it again, it was 2014, 13, and because we were Hands All Over, and then I was Sober Addiction, and then it was.
But also, that was an entirely different band.
That was an entirely different band. Hands All Over was me, Toby, Brian, and Jesse. And then Hands All Over was me and Lev and Gene. And then I decided that full band is really fun, but it's harder to get into places. So Toby and I did the acoustic thing for a little while, and well, you know what? We're still doing it, and been playing a lot of solo shows lately because our day jobs have been a little bit tricky. So Toby's having to work a lot of nights while I'm playing, but I miss my buddy when we're playing.
Have you played that Gin Blossom song?
Which one?
Day Job.
I have not. Should I look it up?
It's gonna be worth your while.
Okay.
Gin Blossom was one of those bands, oddly enough, like The Offspring, I didn't like from the get-go, and then eventually, like get into them. It's like, these guys are awesome.
Super talented. Super. Well, I don't think it makes me a hypocrite, but I'm going to say weird stuff now to you. And I want you to kind of dissect what I'm saying.
Dude, I got to say, your request the other day wasn't weird. Do you have the camping mattress? Like, the one thing I had, like, that got chucked at the old place. Like, it's leaky and terrible. Like, you had to check the landfill. Good luck.
That one's good. It just won't fit in the back of the Jeep. But then somebody, as I was...
what if you inflate it 90%?
Somebody had said...
Like, fill it to where it, like, and then put your equipment on top of it or something weird.
Here's the thought. When I was taking my break from playing at the beach Saturday... somebody's like, put your air mattress in the back of your Jeep, because it was on the XJ forums. Put it in the back of the Jeep and blow it up in the back of the Jeep.
Yeah,
and it'll blow up in the shit.
Yeah, that's
I didn't want to.
Where I was going with that,
I didn't want to distort it permanently into that shape, even though it was free.
It won't.
Well, I'm weird. I ended up driving back anyway. So here's a fun story. I got up at 5:30 a.m. last Saturday. Went to work from 6:15 a.m. to noon. I came home. I loaded the Jeep up with all my music stuff. Drove down to Ocean Isle Beach, including a couple of hilarious stops on the way at a gas station / restaurant / truck stop that had a bar of soap instead of the soap in the dispenser, which was clearly used by a lot of people with horrible hands. I did not wash my hands after going to that bathroom. I'm pretty sure my deck is cleaner than that bar of soap was, so I just left. But so get up at ass crack of dawn, work for 6 hours, go home, load up, drive down to the beach for 3.5 hours, play a 3-hour show solo, load up, drive home for 3 hours, and go to sleep. This is why I am kind of thinking about stepping down, because it's becoming a lot of work on the weekend playing all these shows.
Having to do double shift on Saturday sucks.
It sucks more when you're that far away from home. And I love the out-of-town shows. I love playing for different people. It's just getting up that early for a job that doesn't really care that much that you're getting up early for them. So if you don't take up for yourself, nobody else will. True? Is that Kaylin texting you?
Yeah, she's saying her car smells amazing.
You should tell her that we both say hello. I think it's important that you do that.
Oh, shit, she went to Tamarind.
Where is Tamarind?
Matthews Festival Shopping Center. So where you've got the at 51 and 74, across 74 from Costco and Lowe's, over where the Home Depot, Harris Teeter, Big Lots is.
Where we ate one time when we ate hibachi, like a year ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
In there lives Tamarind, which had been an Indian place. And then recently they switched gears to make more Laos and Thai food. We've gone there a couple of times now. That's what she's bringing to the house. It's incredible, and I'm not entirely sure how to describe why it is. You'll love it, and we'll be weirded out by exotic flavors and, the least hint of spice. Well, life's tough living on chicken nuggets, sweetie.
So she drove from Concord to Matthews.
Yeah.
She
had this wild idea to go do a thing. Like, okay.
Do you ever find yourself singing Whitesnake when she's around? Because is this love that you're feeling? Is this love you've been searching for?
I don't know, question this, Bob Marley.
Whatever it is, I wouldn't question it.
No. It's just
hard to find a good one, isn't it?
It took me long enough.
Quality, not quantity.
I want your quantity, not quality. You know the majority of that story.
Yeah.
Now's not the time to diverse that to the people. But
that's a book. That's a book. Or
and trouble is the working title wouldn't pan out now. Like it never was Facebook official. Like never had been Facebook official. Maybe don't mention Facebook. It's just
you just have to make it a really long acronym. NBFBO.
Doesn't it sound like some medication for your cholesterol?
If you're a loved one has been diagnosed with NBF.
I think if you need the opposite of an anxiety medication is what this is going to be. Now, take this. It will give you anxiety.
I'm on anxiety medication, and I don't want to take this. I don't want to be even. I want to be happier.
I was like, even, Steven? Nah, mine, Steven.
Not on this episode. I gotta tell you, this is really, really good from Aldi.
No.
Lidl.
The other one.
I mean...
German grocer.
Where is Aldi from?
Germany. They're both from Germany. Yeah. Lidl is Aldi with a sense of humor. Now, Aldi's fairly staid and proper. Lidl's got a few more entertaining things along the way, but either way, to get cheap grocers from them.
I think they
and
should
a better beer selection at Lidl too.
They should only open where all of their locations are on an axis. Powers. That's a World War II joke for you.
If looks could kill. What I'm giving AJ right now had better leave a bruise.
Central Powers was World War I. That was Austria-Hungary and Germany. And that was...
Sometimes it's not so worldly.
Sometimes it's not.
For what it's worth, it is in the middle of Europe, so that name's more apt.
True.
Axis, it's...
I mean, if you draw it like Michael J. Fox would draw an axis, then it probably would be. I want to shake it off, shake it off. So Offspring and Green Day were punk rock in the 1990s. Who has taken the punk rock throne after 2000? Because you have these pseudo, Sum 41.
It was like the...
Newfound Glory.
The pop punk thing took hold, which is often blended with emo, which makes me envy the deaf.
You too?
I hate Fall Out Boy.
Same. Even though Patrick Stump has a great voice. Listen to him sing What Becomes of the Brokenhearted with Daryl Hall, and it's really good.
It was like,
but their music.
It was like I heard of the band before I saw the Simpsons episode, and like throughout the Simpsons episode, they keep talking about Fall Out Boy to be Bart Simpson's sidekick buddy. It's like just hearing that name was so irksome.
Yep, you too. But he does have a good voice.
If anybody's going to make Panic at the Disco sound good...
He has a great voice, too.
It's going to be Fall Out Boy.
Here's the problem. I don't like the music that these singers make. But when they do others...
talent making shitty music.
Yes.
And that's the new great tragedy.
The singer...
Among lots of other things.
The singer of Panic at the Disco has a fantastic voice. But I had to go to a Panic at the...
I do not care for what you're doing.
I had to go to a Panic at the Disco show with an ex-girlfriend of mine. And I'll be honest.
Time?
What?
Was she an ex at the time or because of this?
It wasn't because of that, but it was... I digress.
Anyway.
I felt like... All right, now, I want to preface this with I don't mean any animosity by this comment at all, but I felt like I was the manliest man at this show, and I'm not a terribly manly man other than the beard.
You need a chainsaw.
I felt like if every man at this concert attacked me at one time, I don't think I would have walked away with a bruise. I felt pretty masculine at this show.
This does make for a really funny idea, though.
Oh,
just little piddly men bouncing off of you. Like everybody's like charging at you. Like nope.
Who's your favorite bunny from Disney? Is it Thumper?
It'd be General blah blah blah, but like that's not Disney from Watership Down. It's
here's
like it's the most adorable dark thing ever.
Yeah. Have you seen? Here's the third Family Guy reference because it has to do with Disney. Have you seen the multiverse where Brian and Stewie travel through all the different universes? They stop at the Disney one and they're drawn like Disney. Everybody's drawn like Disney. I remember
seeing that, and then like
Mort
Uncle
shows
Walt
up.
Comes up like no.
Like, oh, it's a Disney. Emily's like, I don't get it. I'm like, let me show you something.
Maybe they shouldn't save his head in a jar.
Let me show you something. I'm going to be hungry pretty soon. It'd be a shame if we had to walk up to Dunwell's and eat wings or something.
Shit's next.
Oh, that's right. You got.
I got real food on the way.
Shit. I don't have any food here because Emily was away for the weekend and I was away for a lot of the weekend, mostly driving.
I'm surprised you don't keep a freezer full of pizzas.
Yeah, there's nothing to eat. If she doesn't go grocery shopping, I don't.
For future reference,
I know I work there, but
irony loves company. Yeah.
You know
much
why?
like back in the day, I worked at Sam's Club. Every so often, they have a meeting like on a closing shift, and here, take a rotisserie chicken with you.
Yep.
At the time, it was $4, not $5. And then at grocery stores, now it's $7. Like,
yep.
The fuck.
Our small ones are $5.
Yep. Yeah, it's like sizing 2. Any rotisserie chicken costing more than $5. Fuck that noise. But I'm used to Sam's Club now, Costco, because I don't go into Sam's Club anymore.
Here's why I don't go grocery shopping after work. One. I've spent 9 hours there, I don't want to spend 10. Especially when that last hour is unpaid. B, when I walk around that store and I still have my name tag and my shirt on,
gonna get badgered.
Yep, doesn't matter that I have a basket or a buggy and that I'm clearly not interested in anything.
You'd better bring a spare shirt, shop elsewhere.
Then I have to change shirts to go shopping. I just go home. Either that or I need to bring these headphones with me. And at least if I have these on my head, somebody will, if they're talking to me, they're going to realize that I have headphones. Even though
I'm sorry, this associate AJ has been really unhelpful.
He's got really big black ears.
He's wearing headphones at work. This is really unprofessional.
Because people are fucking thumb dicks, and they always will be. And that's
even weirder is like if I'm at a Best Buy and like I'm just poking around, like, can you help me with something? Like, I'm wearing a polo shirt that isn't blue. I can or shouldn't, but what do you want?
You look like you know shit.
Yeah, it's befuddling. Like, well, sometimes I do, but still, like the only time I'll actively like try to help people is like at the grid.
Mm-hmm.
That's always entertaining. Like, hell if I know they've got this, but across the way, maybe they do. Or, hey, go to this website. But, that graying beard is a bit helpful for that regard. Like, it's like, excuse me, sir. Sir, what's up?
We need more... A, we need more space. B, we need more props. I thought about getting an Atari controller, but I have plenty of them at my parents' house. You got one? This was the...
Somewhere.
Okay. This was
the new cord?
Yeah, well, this was the plug I was talking about. I didn't know what the name of it was.
It's an electrical plug. I couldn't name it for you, but for those in the know, it's a plain Jane 2-prong printer plug.
It looks like an infinity symbol plug. Has 2 female holes for male adapter. I remember how that works. It's just the old married man.
Devil's Triangle.
That's in Siler City. Oh, that's the Devil's Tramping Ground. Which I still want to make it by, and I want to stop by there next time I go to my in-laws.
Who's moving these people anyway?
I want to go camping at the Devil's... I almost said Devil's Triangle. I don't think you want to go camping at the Devil's Triangle, especially if your last name is Kavanaugh. I got a great idea for a podcast, by the way. I told Emily about this yesterday when I was in bed. So it was, I don't know what to call it, but it was setting up a podcast in a public place and then having any random person sign up to talk to you for 1 hour. Sign a waiver, I can release this and blah, blah, blah. I don't know what to call that, but that would be really neat. What do you say? She said, just don't have them not talk about politics or religion. And I'm like, we could probably do that. That would be not a horrible idea.
The podcast is named Mostly Harmless.
90-ish%.
That's why it's mostly.
Yeah, it's kind of true. We haven't.
How's your aim with a taser?
It's been a while. Since I could hold my head up high. It's been a while since I've said I'm sorry. Well, yeah, I think 90s pop punk is mostly pop. Newfound Glory.
It certainly morphed. A lot of it morphed into that, and it's like, this is kind of gonna make me envy the deaf, and a lot of that's carried on to the day. It's like, people going off to see a lot of bands I don't like. Mm-hmm. Like, let's go see Thursday or Thrice. Now y'all have fun.
Yep. What about what was the? I don't like Rancid.
The budget Ramones.
Yes, very budget Ramones. So I'm thinking Highway 49 rural motel budget Ramones. At this point, I do not like that band at all. You too?
The most discernible of them, they're certainly less good than their superiors.
Yeah.
They listen to lots of Bad Religion.
Is there a good religion?
The lack thereof? Buddhism? Yeah.
I mean, you get to be fat and happy. I mean, we're
doing it wrong.
We haven't covered any cars this episode. Steve.
So what's going to be your punk rock car?
What is the most punk rock car ever made?
It's like to have late model T-Bird that is custom made convertible.
All right, so punk rock is all about rebellion and self-expression and fuck everybody else, who cares? So the most punk rock car ever made. I mean, certainly the Countach was the most ostentatious. Anything from Italy, from...
Ever.
Well...
At least prior to them being half Audis.
I would say... Well, even the early Italian cars weren't that vulgar. I would say 70 to 2000 for properly vulgar Italian cars. Because even after that, Ferrari got a little bit soft and Lamborghini got soft. Because they say a real Lamborghini will try to kill you all the time. Thomas's favorite's the Diablo of all time. I can't argue that. That's a good one. The most punk rock
but
car.
Which one? That was around 13 years.
That's true. Punk rock is rebellion, right? What else is punk rock? Nonconformity, which is kind of rebellion. The most punk rock car ever made. It would not want to be pretty. It's not a pretty car. Is it cheap?
Better be. Pretty Fugazi. Fugazi made a point to make all their shows $5 for anybody and make them all ages. Never mind, I like in Makai's previous band, Minor Threat, better, but Fugazi had a better ethos behind it, and it's quite entertaining to see him at in his 50s, being, pretty soft-spoken gentleman. But, Fugazi had A, awesome name, 2, awesome ethos surrounding, make the band accessible to anybody at a low price point. They're not getting rich off those fucker productions.
No. So, all right. Punk. I'm trying to write this fast and neat. A punk rock car needs to be cheap,
do both.
not pretty, not necessarily pretty, not expensive, but it needs to be loud and fast.
Subaru.
Subarus aren't loud.
Well, it doesn't take much to make them loud, but at least there was a time like it's certainly weird.
Well,
inexpensive to keep running, and with you swap the exhaust out, you've got Angry Beetle every day, all the time.
I think we can do better.
They're absolutely beating to an indifferent drummer.
I think we can do better.
Okay, but that certainly seems weird enough to about fall in that category.
This is one of the more challenging car-related things we've done. It has to be.
It would have to be like. What do you want? 60s Volkswagen would totally fall in that. That's
it's not fast.
Protopunk.
Not fast.
Cheap.
Punk rock is fast.
Yeah.
Well, it's the old adage: the cheap, reliable, and fast. Pick 2. So we need one that's cheap and fast, but not reliable.
I'm so glad my car has no delusion of being fast now.
So cheap and fast, but not reliable. I mean, we got Fox Body Mustang. This gutted.
The engine was around forever, and that's more V8 than I've ever had.
I've got an idea. Lotus Esprit. That's my vote. It's
cheap.
The 4-cylinder ones. A beat up.
It's fairly quick. It will murderize you trying to keep it running.
It's pretty too.
Cheap's
I
a
like
stretch.
Okay.
It's
Jeez, this is harder than I thought it would be.
This is a brilliant concept, and I am woefully unqualified to offer anything of interest to it. It's like,
Punk rock cars. I mean, Corvettes. They're cheap. Well, it depends on who you ask if they're pretty or not. They're not expensive. They are loud and fast.
Basically, everything until the C7's kind of pretty.
You don't like the C7?
Not digging that, but hot damn with the newest Camaros, don't make them look like Kathy Ireland.
True. I would love to take a C7 drivetrain and drop it into a C6 Grand Sport.
It can't be that hard.
It can't. Probably not. Corvette would probably be the American punk rock car,
which is funny considering the average Corvette owner is going to be very secret riddled.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Jerry and the Actrix.
I was like, hey, there's Cards of Coffee. Hey, there's a Corvette bunch.
Oh.
Well, they're not getting off their chairs.
Not easily. Not without a toe strap. We're going to have to think of the toe. Jesus Christ. We're going to have to think of the most punk rock car ever made.
Cadillac XLR. The only non-Corvette built in the Corvette factory. It's fast. It's
expensive.
Weird. Is it now, though? I mean, they cranked out, what?
Go ahead.
A couple thousand of them?
Find one under $40,000 on your tablet.
It's funny because back in the day, my neighbor had one.
Oh?
Promptly got rid of it to get a Corvette because it was so terrible.
Yes. I still bet they fetch a pretty penny. Well, The problem is, I think the new Hellcats would be very punk rock, but they're not. They're not cheap, so they're very not cheap.
Yeah.
Somebody's already Hennessy twin turboed their Cherokee Hellcat, and it has 1,200 horsepower. That, I mean, it's admirable, but it's still way more.
Even the lesser ones, like muscle cars is punk rock. Like,
not really.
That still strikes me more as just metal.
That's classic rock or metal. Would punk rock be Would it be 70s, 80s? Would it be Datsun 280Z? That, to me, that's not punk rock. It's not loud.
For its worth, the Clash, much as you hate them, did sing about brand new Cadillac, totally making fun of the fuckers getting brand new Cadillacs.
We're not ending this podcast.
Which is really funny that, like, Cadillac, the band, use brand new Cadillac in their ad without realizing the sheer horribleness surrounding somebody making it big, getting a Cadillac, and then being fuck all y'all off.
If it wasn't cheap, I would say punk rock would be Grand National. But it's not cheap.
Yeah. I'll find out what, like. Did you hear the smoking tire surrounding the cruise director? The guy that made the wrestler as well?
Mm-mm.
Put that in your ears. It was funny, like, guy that isn't Car Guy made an amazing Car Guy movie. And Matt's dissecting it throughout, like scene by scene of what they'd done to make an 80s period piece movie with 80s cars and somehow making this on a razor thin budget was pretty fabulous.
Interesting. Mark sent me a text and said that we need to check out VinWiki.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
He said the guy can be kind of a douchebag, but it's very informative.
The guy that's running this is one of my personal heroes. Him and Alex Roy, a pair of transcontinental record holders.
That guy, yes.
Yeah. Alex Roy set his record at 31 something, and Ed broke 30 hours.
Mm-hmm. I want to say it was 28 and a half hours, actually.
And now he's pushing 40. Decided to change things and make a website surrounding that, and making videos of people with crazy car stories. Yes, absolutely.
When we do our punk rock car, does it need to be an all original car? It can't be like an LS swap, blah blah blah, or it has to be the way the factory made it.
Frankly, I don't give a damn.
Because Mark gave me some shit about
blah blah swaps, blah blah.
He gave me some shit about it. I was like, hey, you try to have 4 or 5 different drinks in you and then try to make arbitrary rules to your own podcast. It's not as easy as it sounds.
Rules are there are no rules.
Mm-hmm.
Are we here? Are we live? Can we say a thing? Neat.
2 out of 3 ain't
Hi,
bad.
Mark. Thanks, Meatloaf.
I love meatloaf.
What do you think about what a car did to the time?
Deep fried meatloaf.
Go on.
All right.
What if you think about car coming into its own in an era of things that have been establishment suddenly being thwarted? The 83 GTI in the U.S. market, that suddenly you have this tiny hatchback that can outrun the Camaro.
I think that's
Camaro's been around for a hot minute.
And it's cheaper, right? It was cheaper at the time.
It was a cheaper little car, and for a while they built them in the U.S., so they're even cheaper. And sadly not holding up that well, but still.
Yeah.
That first-gen GTI to have tiny 4-cylinder car outrunning V8s that, were emissions choked beyond belief, we've got tiny motor doing less emissions. It's not choked out. It's a go-kart.
Yep.
I still have dreams about that fucking 89 that I had.
That could be punk rock.
It's,
And a Miata could be punk rock.
yeah.
It could be loud and fast, not expensive, not really pretty,
Yep.
still cheap.
The thing is, like, I like the slant. I like the pop-up headlights. That's between the both of those may lie our answer.
They say Miata is always the answer. I was trying to find a better answer though, but I mean,
Between the both of those, like, I got a GTI at the time. I almost had a 90 Miata. My neighbor had one.
Yep.
And I was just a bit concerned about having something that tiny with so little space in it. And I got the GTI because I couldn't find an 88 SI Civic hatchback.
Yeah.
That was nowhere to be had in the news and record of classifieds back in the day.
Well, you could do Prelude. Although I think they're pretty. And punk rock is not pretty.
Yeah.
So we have to pick an ugly car.
Yeah, it's like, for what it's worth, like, any of the early GTIs are absolutely in the eye of the beholder. To anybody else, it's just weird looking little tiny boxy car.
The thing is, any car we pick, I can pick a fault with.
Mm-hmm.
Because even the GTI, I think it's pretty.
It's not a bad looking rig.
Yeah,
but
I can't think of one.
Like, anything that like we're saying versus like what would the general public think?
Fuck the
Otherwise,
general public.
Yeah,
This
like,
isn't.
That would absolutely be general public. What the hell is that? How old is that? Why is it still running?
This isn't the C general
No.
GP pod.
No, this is our own thing.
Yes.
But it was absolutely something made better in the second generation.
So what is cheap? Not pretty. I put not expensive.
What is cheap?
I don't know why. I don't know why I put that to not expensive.
You think are
Cheap,
we talking
not pretty.
maintenance costs?
Loud and fast. This is harder than I thought it would be, and we're really good at this.
I like tiny box cars. The general public won't. Like, I think for us to agree on something that
I got it.
what's up?
Cyclone Typhoon.
That's a rare bird.
So, do we do cheap now, or do we cheap when it came out?
You can establish that. Because that wasn't a terribly expensive thing
It wasn't.
upon release.
It was not. It was
a weird,
it was pretty
rare
cheap.
bird.
Not pretty. It was loud and fast. So, Cyclone was the SUV? Or was the Typhoon the SUV? I don't remember which one it was. Was the Cyclone the truck and the Typhoon the SUV? We're not looking this up. We look up shit all the time. So, whatever it is, neither of them were pretty. But they were fairly cheap for the day, but they were loud and fast. We're going to have to think about this and get back to the listeners. Viewers is less syllables.
I couldn't bother to remember which is which. Just the Siphons.
What the StarQuest Club guys called it the Sci-Tie twins because they used to use the turbos off of those cars and put them in their Starion Conquests because it would bolt up if you bored out the hot side of the turbo, which I didn't do because that's a lot of work. Is the missus summoning you for dinner?
Not far off.
Gotcha. We're going to think of the most punk rock car and get back to you in episode 19. Because I can't think of anything right now. Has to be cheap, not pretty, loud, and fast. Because what Steve and I think are pretty is different than normal people.
Yep.
So, And what is fast?
So let's appreciate about everything except the new Camaro and the new big Toyotas.
Or any of the Toyotas, even though I like the new Camry. With the black top. I've seen a lot of the ones with like the white body black
you like
top.
the new Predator face?
No, not the face. I like the
Untenable.
two-tone. I love the two-tone. I can ignore the front. I don't ever look at the front. I'm sitting in the driver's seat. Can you get the new Camry in a stick?
Not since 2012.
Camry's dead to me.
It's been super dead for a while.
Never mind. It's only alive to me visually.
And you couldn't get a V6 with a stick since 01.
Ooh. All right, it's very dead to me. We're gonna.
You can't replicate my beloved old green car now. At least not from them.
What color green?
Dark.
So not forest or forest green?
Forest green, yeah, just dark green. I really love that car. It kept eating tires, and kept burning oil, but that was it was a better old Camry than most.
You worked at a tire shop though, right? During that time,
I may or may not have abused the tire warranty on that a few times.
I'd say, well, 50% of your expenditures isn't bad. We're gonna think of the
I'm
most
making fuck nothing an hour. Like, oh yes, I will abuse this.
We'll think of the most punk rock cars we can think of.
That shop no longer exists in its current location. I think we're good.
Good. So we'll think of the punk rock cars for episode 19. The most, all right, for each of us. So it'll be about a week or two. Then we'll come and dissect those opinions. I'll have to remind you about that, and you'll have to remind me about that. So after much booze from foreign countries and from domestic countries, I'm AJ.
I'm Steve.
Steve, we are done with episode 18. We're going to be on our last years of our teens next episode.
Whenever.
2 weeks or so. Sound good to you?
Whatever happens, happens.
Cool.
So it's going to happen.
Well, I will edit this and I'll release it soon. We'll see you later. I'm AJ.
And I'm Steve.
Later.
19 dollars.